Alright, so this is my first live mock draft that I've done. The rest of them, they've all been like pre-recorded, or not really pre-recorded, but what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll pick one, or I'll go through, do the whole draft, and then I'll go through and do it again, like when I record it. I haven't gone through and done a draft for this one. I guess I did one yesterday, but this is, the order is the same, but my opinions have changed a little bit, so let's get going. First overall pick, Texans, they got to go Bryce Young. They've shown no faith in either of their two quarterbacks. They're running a two-quarterback system right now. They've been doing well these last 2 weeks, and, I love to see it as a Texans fan, and gives me hope for next year. But, I don't know. I like Davis Mills, but he just hasn't really cut it. So, taking the top quarterback in this class is kind of a must. Chicago Bears, they get Will Anderson, who I think is the best player in the draft, and I had the Texans taking him number 1 for a little bit, but so ever since they benched Davis Mills, that just shows me they don't have faith in him, and they're going to take quarterbacks. So luckily for the Bears, they get one of the top, they're the top player in the draft, in my opinion, who has a chance to be like a Micah Parsons type edge rusher. So Seahawks take another player with a lot of upside, Jalen Carter. He's been compared to Aaron Donald. People say he's the best interior D lineman since Aaron Donald. He can rush the passer. Go watch this guy's highlights at Georgia. I'm a Georgia fan, obviously, but yeah, I love watching this guy play. Detroit Lions, this is tough, but I'm gonna have to go C.J. Stroud. I do like what Jared Goff has done, but I think he's set to enter free agency. C.J. Stroud is a cheaper, younger, and is a player with a much higher upside, a lot higher potential than Jared Goff has. So it just kind of makes sense to take C.J. Stroud. You don't start him right away. He is sort of a project, not as much of a project as like Anthony Richardson, but he's not really a start right away type of quarterback, which is why I think he goes here instead of first. But this would still be a good pick for the Lions. Cardinals, they have plenty of holes, but I think I'm going to go corner because when Byron Murphy is your best corner, he's a good corner, don't get me wrong, but when he's your best corner, that's not good. So taking Kelee Ringo, in my opinion, is the best corner in the draft. People have all types of opinions on who's the best corner. I know it's kind of my Georgia bias here, but I got to go Kelee Ringo. Indianapolis Colts, this is where Will Levis, I think, is going to go. They need a quarterback. I wouldn't be shocked if they traded up with the Lions to take C.J. Stroud. And the Texans better not give up the first overall pick. I'll be pissed if they do. But Will Levis, is he a top 10 player in this draft? I don't think so, but this is more quarterbacks are in high demand, and he is the best one available. So I think he's going to go here. Atlanta Falcons, there's plenty of different ways they could go with this. I was really going between Brian Brzee and Myles Murphy, but I'm going to go Myles Murphy this time. I usually take Brzee before then, but they really have no D-line at all. And I do think Murphy is a little bit better than Brzee, so I'm going with Murphy. Panthers, I'm still taking a wide receiver. I'm not taking a quarterback here. They've been doing well recently. But you guys have to remember, they drafted Matt Corral last year. I really hope he starts next year because that dude's upside is just insane. So he is out for this whole season with a foot injury, but he'll be fine, trust me. And Quentin Johnston, I think, is the best receiver in this draft. People say Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I think Johnson's better than both of them. I think he's very, very similar to Mike Williams from the Chargers. So if you want a player like that, then I think Quentin Johnston really fits that role. Philadelphia Eagles, there's plenty of different ways they could go with this. Their team is just so good. If they want to draft Bijan Robinson right here, I'd understand. But I don't think that they will. I think they're going to take Tyree Wilson. Simply put, he's probably one of the best players available. And I know that 1 through 9 have already gone. So trust me, I'm not just taking 1 through 32. But yeah, Tyree Wilson going at number 9. Las Vegas Raiders, this is where I have Brian Brzee going. They have no interior pass rush whatsoever, and Brzee offers that. Very, very talented player. He did have some stuff this year. I think it's his younger sister who died, which, that's just sad. She was only 15. But you could tell that he missed 2 games because of that. And, I really can't blame him. But Jacksonville Jaguars, Jordan Addison, that's the easy pick right there. The Texans, I really wish they would trade up one spot to take Jordan Addison. I wouldn't be surprised if they took Smith and Jigba, but they need to go after a receiver in free agency. I'm going to give him Peter Skoronski, who they just need an offensive tackle. Like, their offensive line right now is terrible, and they just never address it. They have Laremy Tunsil, but then you put Peter Skoronski on the other side, and then boom, your line is pretty much fixed. Or not entirely, because you still have no interior line, but you got 2 good offensive tackles, which it's a good start. Pittsburgh Steelers, Joey Porter Jr. I've already given my logic for this pick. They need corners, and Joey Porter Jr.'s father played for the Steelers and is now a coach for him. So Just makes a lot of sense. Green Bay Packers, I still have Michael Mayer going right here. They just don't have a tight end. Christian Watson's looking better than he did at the start of the season, and Romeo Doubs could be pretty good. So, but I'm gonna have to go Mayer here because they really don't have a tight end. I mean, Robert Tonyan just is not cutting it. This is gonna surprise a lot of people, but I'm gonna go Noah Sewell. They have Jordan Brooks, but they always played that 2 middle linebacker system with Bobby Wagner and Jordan Brooks. They right now have Bobby Wagner and Cody Barton, who's set to hit free agency. Barton's doing good, but I don't think that they'll re-sign him. I think that he'll go get a contract somewhere else. So taking Noah Sewell, who has a lot of potential as a run-stuffing linebacker and can also drop into coverage, I think he's really being underrated in this draft. So I could see him going this high, and I really think he would deserve to. New England Patriots, I'm taking Christian Gonzalez. It seems like a very, very Patriots pick. Big physical slot corner. He plays as a slot corner for Oregon, but he can play outside as well. So, I have him going there. The Jets, there's so many ways I thought they could go with this, but I'm going to go Paris Johnson Jr. Mekhi Becton has just been really inconsistent. He's been hurt. Morgan Moses is on the wrong side of 30 and set to hit free agency, so I'm going with Paris Johnson. Detroit Lions, there's a ton of different ways they could go with this. They could go D-line, could go linebacker. Safety's been pretty good this year. Could go edge rusher. I'm going to give him a corner in Cam Smith. I think he's the best corner left. Clark Phillips is really good too, but I have to go Cam Smith. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this is where I have Anthony Richardson going. The more I've thought about it, the more I like Anthony Richardson as a player, if I'm being honest. I think the dude he can play. He's just the project player. He's not somebody you start right away. So that's why I think they should start Kyle Trask, who's actually, I think he was Richardson's teammate for a year. I don't know. I'm not completely sure about that, but I think that they were teammates for a year. Starts Kyle Trask, and if Kyle Trask plays well, good. But then if he doesn't play well, let Anthony Richardson develop and then play him. But do not start him right away. Tennessee Titans, I don't want to go Broderick Jones here, but they really need a tight end or a wide receiver. I'm going to go Jackson Smith and Jigba. Their receivers have had no production this year at all since losing A.J. Brown. Treylon Burks is not the answer. A.J. Brown, he's a star receiver. Treylon Burks is a serviceable number 2 option at best, so that trade didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Didn't make a lot of sense to anybody at the time. Still doesn't make a lot of sense. So they get Smith and Jigba. Has a lot of potential, but I don't really think he's as good as everybody's saying he is. But he's still a first rounder, but he's not the best receiver in this class. This is where you could probably have like Hendon Hooker go, but I'm gonna go with Clark Phillips. They really need help in the secondary. And again, Taylor Heineke is just that guy. So stick with Taylor Heineke and you're good. This is where Broderick Jones going. They keep on investing in their O-line, and I don't blame them. Brian Bulaga is probably going to retire after this year. And Broderick Jones, he's a right tackle, so I guess he played some left tackle, some right tackle. They already have Rashawn Slater on the left, so then just put him on the right, and you're all good. This is where I have Jalen Hyatt going. I'm really high on Jalen Hyatt. He had a really, really good year. I think it's smart for him to just be like, all right, I had this one good year in college, but it was a really, really good year. I won the Blitikoff Award. I'm going to skip my bowl game and go to the draft. And the Giants have expressed a lot of interest in him, and they do need receivers, so this pick would just make a lot of sense. Baltimore Ravens, you could go plenty of different ways here, but I'm going to go with Bijan Robinson. I don't think a lot of people expected him to go here, but J.K. Dobbins, I don't think they're going to pick up his 5th-year option. Just wouldn't really make a lot of sense too. And Bijan Robinson is just such a talented running back. Like, they could probably try to trade J.K. Dobbins because he still has value. But the running backs seem to always get hurt. They always have to seem to start the most random people. So having Bijan there would not hurt them. And a team that runs the ball a lot, he would really benefit from that. This is where I have Trenton Simpson going to the Denver Broncos. Somebody name a Denver Broncos linebacker. Yeah, there you go. Dallas Cowboys, this is where where is he? I have Garrett Williams going right here. I'm really high on Garrett Williams. I like him a lot. I know he's not the most popular pick at this spot. There's plenty of different other ways they could have gone. But, I don't know, I liked him at Syracuse. So he was really important to that defense. They were completely different with him and without him, so this is where I have him going. Darnell Washington is who I have going here. Again, this is kind of my Georgia bias, but the dude is 6'7" and 275 pounds and is fast. He can catch, he can run block, he can pass block, he can pretty much do anything. And I think Hayden Hurst is said to hit free agency this offseason, so instead of having to pay a 30-year-old tight end, you could draft this guy to be your number 1 tight end. Because trust me, if a team really, really try to utilize him, they could get so much out of him. Now right here, I have Isaiah Foskey going 28 to the Chiefs. I could see Foskey going so much earlier. I have a string of edge rushers here. Next, I have Nolan Smith, and then Jared Verse. So 3 edge rushers in a row. I think Foskey's better than Nolan Smith and Jared Verse, but all 3 of these guys are just outstanding in my opinion. And just how deep this class is the only reason why they're going this far down. And now, right here, there's plenty of different ways I could go with this, but I kind of want to go with a safety here. I'm going to go Antonio Johnson. I think the Philadelphia Eagles, I know that they got C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's pretty good. Their safeties have been doing pretty well this year, but Antonio Johnson, I think, could be somebody who wouldn't... He'd be more like Daxton Hill. He doesn't start right away, but when he gets his chance, I think he'll be good. Texans, I mean, we kind of need every position, but I'm going to go with a receiver here. I'm going to go Josh Downs. This is actually the first pick of the second round. But I thought about giving him a D-end like Ojulari, but it's not letting me show the whole draft order. But, yeah, I'm not going to feel like going through. You guys can just go watch. Hopefully you guys know I picked for everybody, and that's going to be it for this one. So, see you guys next time.